Well, the streaming wars have taken casualties. In the last couple of weeks, we saw Boomerang and Cartoon Network. Their apps have been shutting down, and a couple of others, depending on which network you would think of onto the situation. There are problems on Apple TV, Paramount, and many others that they're having issues. We don't know how long before Crackle shuts down due to the Redbox issue that has happened. We discussed this a while back, and we discussed with Disney Plus and Disney. Disney has a lot of problems, and it's content. Most of it's content problems. They just don't learn. They're trying to glorify themselves over the Agatha series. That how proud it is because they have gay in it. And it's like I reported this a while back. Huffington Post put it out, and this is why one of the gay networks is no longer there, because basically it doesn't work out. There are people in the gay community that just doesn't want to watch it all the time, doesn't want to watch movies that are focused with gay people in it. When you make a product, you want to have a gay person in it, that's fine, but don't emphasize on it. There have been many movies and shows that have gay people in it, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, perfect example, Will and Grace. That was a great show. It wasn't a political emphasis to the situation. It was a lot of fun. The other day I was hearing that people were complaining about Friends, but the diversity of Friends. But a year prior to that, in that network, you had Living Single. It was like a year prior to Friends, and that was an all-black cast similar to Friends. And people don't complain about that. They don't complain about that. It's just this is the political agendas that happen. And Disney is one of the major ones. And, you saw with the situations that now they want calls, after the debate with ABC and some of the other channels that they have. But now what we're hearing, and like I said, we discussed this before, Disney was going to shut down some of their apps. Well, by the time you get this video, they've already been shut down. And what we're talking about is Freeform, FX, National Geographic. They're shutting down their apps. Now, there is an ABC app that's going to stay up temporarily, but eventually it will shut down. And we're going to read this. This is from Cord Cutter. Disney is set to discontinue its ABC, Freeform, FX, and National Geographic apps on September 23rd, which was already passed, making a strategic shift to its flagship streaming service, Disney Plus. The move comes after a long effort to build a free ad-supported streaming platform within the ABC app, which included a mix of live channels and both free and paywall content. And see, that's not really going to work. They're thinking of the Sling channel and the Roku channel on there. They want to do fast channels on there. But these guys, Tubi, Pluto, Roku, all these guys have been doing it for quite some time, and they're good at it. You have Disney that says, okay, we're going to do it now. We're going to try to do it now. It's too late. It is really too late for you because you don't have the content to strengthen your network. While the ABC website will remain active for viewing content, the paywall content previously accessible with a cable subscription on many smart TVs and streaming platforms will now be available exclusively through Hulu and the Disney apps. The consolidation of content further strengthens Hulu and Disney's Plus position as a key player in Disney's streaming ecosystem. No, you want to know something? Hulu, in October, Hulu is about to raise their prices. I know I have Hulu. I have the ad one, and that's going to go up $1. It's going to be $10. It gets over that, I'm going to be discontinuing it. It's ridiculous. This is the same thing I went through with Netflix. The only reason why I came back to Netflix is that they offered a lower tier price point that was lower than what I was paying before. And, I'm not going to pay $25 for a streaming site, whereas I can watch a lot of great stuff on free streaming. The ABC app boasted over 20 free channels dedicated to various Disney-owned properties, including ESPN, While the official destination for this content remains unannounced, some of the free channels have been moved into Disney Plus, but not all of them. The move could attract new subscribers and bolster the platform's appeal, particularly among those who enjoy passive viewing experience offered by live TV. Those live TV channels, a lot of them are available elsewhere. That's the thing. That content is available elsewhere in a lot of things because they have sold their, like, especially like a lot of their Fox content. You know, you can find some of that on, Tubi. You could find it on Pluto. You could find it on Stir and many others. According to the Wall Street Journal, Disney is planning a major overhaul of the Disney Plus app, incorporating personalized recommendation, email reminders, and 24/7 live channels dedicated to popular shows. This revamped approach aims to enhance user engagement and make it easier for subscribers to discover new content. The shutdown of the ABC and network apps aligns with a broader industry trend as cable networks increasingly prioritize their subscription services over standalone apps. This move could signal a future where dedicated apps become less common, with the media companies focused on driving growth of their paid streaming platforms. As the streaming landscape continues to evolve, Disney's decision to consolidate its content and focus on Disney Plus reflects the industry move to try and adapt the changing world of cable TV. See, this is not going to work for Disney. Honestly, it is not going to work for them. You can go on any other YouTuber out there, Nerdrotic, Midnight's Edge, Culture Casino, and many others, and they'll agree. It is like, to fix what's broken is not how many apps you have or anything like that. It is the content. It is the substance. It's the meat and potatoes of your site. And this has been a problem for quite some time. Disney has not, it used to be the family channel. It used to be, the wholesome, and you had these great content. Some of it good, some of it bad, but it was watchable, not to the garbage that it has today. When you have stuff like the Marvel series, you have Agatha, you have She-Hulk, Star Wars, The Acolyte, and many others, and you look at the type of shows that they're putting out and the type of movies they're putting out, they're not grossing any hits with anyone. You're losing viewers. Every time you put a new one out, you lose more viewers. And that's the issue. Why is Tubi getting strong? Because even though a lot of the content is not that great, but they're still putting out decent and good content that people do want to watch. You're throwing stuff out there. I mean, you've hidden stuff with Disney. And they say, well, it's a bit, controversial. It's a bit racist and stuff like that. I mean, one of the big things out there, and it would be a big hit, even though it's a slow movie, and I've seen this movie, Song of the South. If they do a re-release of Song of the South, that would energize, a lot of their base, because you'll finally get, you're going to get people going to be mad. But the thing about it is, they didn't see the movie. They didn't understand what the movie is. And this is the problem with a lot of these films. When people start saying on these films, they've never seen it. They've never watched the films. It's the perfect, I'm going to give you the perfect example. The Last Temptation of Christ with William Dafoe. Very good movie. Very underrated film. Do you know why the controversy on the Catholic Church on this? Because they said, well, Jesus Christ can't get married, he can't have kids and stuff like that. That's a wrong thing. But you didn't understand the concept. What is the title of the movie? The Last Temptation of Christ. I'm sorry for those who haven't seen it. Yeah, it is basically the devil tempting Jesus Christ on the cross to come down from the cross. He doesn't need to die, that he can live a life in such a situation, but that is the temptation. It is the vision that the devil puts in Jesus Christ's mind to try to tempt him down from the cross. That is something that, would be cheered upon if people would watch it properly and understand what is the message here. The message is do not fall to temptation. But that's what happens. That's what happens. And that's what Song of the South. What Song of the South is about a black man who used to be a slave telling stories to children. especially one that's having problems with his family, that his father's not there, that he's I think he's a reporter if I recall, and he was away, and it made him upset. He didn't understand to the situation, and he was being told by Uncle Remus that basically these are the stories that will help you with your life. These are stories that have been told. And they don't want you to tell you stories, but no, they call it because it was during the middle or to the end of slavery. There was some, slavery was awful. But there were people out there that did the best to live their lives. And then, of course, all these reboots, remakes. Let's do another one. Let's change this around and make it more made for the modern era. When they're doing all this stuff that this great content that has been out for many years, and they just want to redo their entire roster to get rid of the stuff that they said, well, this is controversial. What is it controversial? Because someone doesn't like it? Because they feel that basically, well, they don't have to watch it. They don't have to watch it. Nobody is forcing you to watch it. I'm sick and tired of these crybaby activists that they think that they're doing better to the people. No, you're not. You're destroying the creative gifts that people have, the artistry that people have. That's what you're doing. You've taken the art out of the movie and TV show business. Tarantino said this. Quentin Tarantino, fantastic director, fantastic, that he's done all these great movies, and he's getting out of Hollywood now because basically Hollywood is not Hollywood anymore. From the 1970s to well into the 90s, we had a great renaissance after the Hays Code. The Hays Code put us in a point where even great old novels that were turned into movies were not properly done, and they still do it today. They said, "No, we can't have this. We can't have that." It was a Humphrey Bogart movie with Lauren Bacall, and part of the premise was there was blackmail and prostitution. They removed that from the movie, so it was kind of confusing on certain scenes on there. I mean, the movie was decent, but it got confusing in the middle. Whereas, why was this going on? And the ending was changed. It wasn't the same ending that was in the novel. Now, of course, you may say, well, they do that every once in a while, the screenwriter. No, I mean, it completely deflects from what the ending should have been, which would have made more sense to the nature. But it was because of the Hays Code that changed all of that. When we got out of the Hays Code, we got movies like MASH. We got the black exploitation movies of the 70s. We got the horror movies of the 1980s and the action films. So that stuff that we would have not gotten in the late 30s, 40s, and 50s. And Disney, who used to be a hallmark of children's television, children's movies, stuff for the family. They had their failures. Of course, they had like The Black Hole, Something Wicked This Way Comes, and a couple others. But you had stuff that you had the Kurt Russell era in Disney. Yeah, that's right. Kurt Russell used to do Disney movies. He used to do these funny movies where he was in a college where they got into a lot of mischief. I think was it The World's Strongest Man or something like that. Basically, where he found a formula to make him super strong. There was another one where his mind merged with the computer, or is it the computer with tennis shoes was another. And there were many others that he did throughout. He did specials. There's a Walt Disney special out there with the Osmonds and Kurt Russell, and I forgot the other singer that was that they went through Disneyland. And they were having fun. There was music, and this is the stuff that it was promoted. And there was a lot of other, you had Zorro, the series, when they call that racist now, very racist. Zorro was a really good series. Davy Crockett, same situation. You had the great Patrick McGoogan, who played the Scarecrow of something Marsh on there where he was a priest and pirate at the same time, based on a novel series that Disney Walt loved very much on that, and it was a good it was a long movie, but it was really, really good and well done. And there are many others. The Wonderful World of Disney used to be something I used to sit when I was a kid and watch on Sunday nights. Same thing with the Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I used to do that back to back. Those were two good shows that I used to watch, and especially they had the nature stuff on there on both Disney and, of course, and Wild Kingdom. And that's the thing that they've been lacking a lot lately. Even though Disney owns Nat Geo these days, it's not like it used to be. There's a lot of changes that this company has gone through, and they've become political. And you've seen it for what happened at the presidential debate. This is ABC News, who is owned by Disney. Now you have a congressional hearing probably coming up to ask questions on probably Bob Iger and why the ABC News Network did what they did. So for Disney, this consolidation, all that, I mean, Warner is doing the same thing too. Cartoon Network and Boomerang and others, and other companies are doing it. Paramount's going to do it as well. What's going to be the landscape for 2025? That's unknown right now. A lot of question marks. But I'll tell you this: fast channels, those like Tubi, Pluto, Roku, and a couple others, they're going to survive into 2025, 2026. The big ones, well, Netflix and YouTube, of course, obviously, they're going to survive. Apple, Disney, Paramount, Amazon, who know, and the rest, who knows what it'll be like for them in the coming year. So let me know in the comments below. Tell me, what are your thoughts about this? Because there's a lot that's going on with this streaming wars. Tell me what your favorite streaming channel is, because there is good content. There is good content out there. You just got to find it. I'm watching Tulsa King. I just watched Penguin. Penguin was, I can't believe I'm saying this. DC's Penguin is a good show. Episode 1 was very good. If they stay on track on this, they're going to have a hit on their hands. They might be able to spread off and do others, but of course, those might end up to be problems. So comment, like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for the support. Thank you for being there, because I know there's thousands upon thousands of videos you could be watching on these social media accounts, but you chose us. We really do appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you. Bye-bye now.